Alright, Cherubs, this is one of the most recognizable images in American history. It's the iconic image of Middle America. I even once saw it reconstructed using jelly beans. It's called American Gothic, and it was painted by Grant Wood in 1930, famously one of the worst years in American history. Let's start, as there is some evidence the artist did, with the house in the background. It's in a style called Carpenter Gothic, popular in Middle America, which applies those long lines and pointed windows of Gothic cathedrals to the timber houses. You'll notice the triple-pointed window, called a lancet window, which is traditionally found in Gothic churches in Europe. So that's probably where this painting got its name. The architecture alone, though, isn't what makes this painting Gothic. Wood is also clearly influenced by Gothic and early Renaissance painting here as well. Remember that Van Eyck painting I wrote about a while ago? Wood visited Europe in the 20s, and it's not difficult to see the influence of artists like Hans Memling on his style. Those artists could demonstrate and identify their figures through objects and tell a story with visual imagery. Photography could do a lot of things painting couldn't, but planned, detailed, and meticulously arranged compositions of painting could still provide value. In the same way a Gothic artist gave saints items to demonstrate their identity or values, like Saint Jerome with his lion, or Catherine with her wheel, Wood paints his Iowan farmer with a pitchfork, and that tells us how this man makes his living. Now once our attention is on that man's ability to work with his hands, we start to notice, and are signaled by, the hard geometric lines of the painting, that nearly everything here, from the house to the clothes, could be handmade by these two individuals. And this, in the 1930s, is notable. The US had undergone massive industrial growth in the early 20th century, and factory production of food or clothes had become the standard. These two seem as archaic in 1930 as they do for us today. So, at this point I may have misled you to believe that Grant Wood was trying to revive some medieval style in the US, but that's not really true. Grant Wood was firmly a regionalist. He was quoted in Time magazine lamenting that American artists remained in colonial dependence to Europe, and called for American artists to explore the regions of the US for a distinctive style. In the same way that different European cities had distinctive Gothic styles, the regions of the US, he thought, should define their own individual visual vocabularies. He wasn't trying to revive an outdated European style. He was trying to use the idea that different cultures or regions tell different stories and have different visual vocabularies, even within a unifying style. Now, here's where this painting gets controversial. Many people saw the regionalist style as a form of anti-internationalism, as an extension or American version of the fascist nationalism taking root in Europe through figures like Mussolini or Hitler. Fritzi Reisenborn, an American art critic writing in the years following World War II, summarized those arguments. She said, Grant Wood's work, which hangs in the Gallery of Honor at the Art Institute, contributes nothing scientifically, emotionally, or aesthetically to art or society. It is a culmination of a trend of escapist and isolationist thoughts and action, which was popular with some groups yesterday, but which is definitely obsolete today. Now this is at a time when Picasso was trying to find a universal human iconography in his abstract art. Wood's regionalism seemed to promote a provincial and insular value system that would shrink human communities rather than expand them. It seemed like a step backwards. But regionalism does not necessarily live up to the negative or fascist implications of nationalism. An honest depiction of a particular culture with its full complexity on display should invoke empathy and understanding of some underlying shared humanity. Grant Wood painted these characters uncomfortably close to the foreground and forces an interaction between them and the viewer. She looks anxiously off to the side, thoughtfully and filled with a private intensity, and he looks directly forward with some purposeful severity we will never be able to fully discern. We are forced to interact with their experiences and emotions, however foreign their culture is to us, because those emotions are at once obviously present while at the same time forever obscured. Even if we can't fully understand them, we want to. In this way, Wood's particular brand of regionalism doesn't ask us to fold in on ourselves and focus internally, but quite the opposite. He asks us to recognize and accept the different experiences and stories of humanity and then fall empathically in love with them. To look at the experience of others, recognize the differences, and still reach out our hand. If you like this video and want to see more like it, please subscribe. I'm trying to upload on the 15th of every month. If you really like these videos, you can check out my Patreon page and get them a week early. Thanks for watching.